Okay, so if you're leading a CPA firm, you've probably been feeling it for a while now, that the old playbook for growth, it's just broken. Today, we're going to dig into the new model that the top firms are adopting, and it's all about prioritizing flexibility over just hiring more people.
I mean, we all know this formula, right? It's been the gospel for decades. You land a big new client, you immediately post a job opening. It was simple, it was predictable, and you know what? For a long time, it actually worked.
But that growth lever, it's completely jammed now. With the pressures of a super tight hiring market, costs going through the roof, and everything getting more complex, that old way just isn't a reliable path to growth anymore. Honestly, it's become a path to burnout.
So let's get specific. What exactly broke here? Let's take a closer look at why this once super reliable formula is now failing so many firms.
Does any of this sound painfully familiar to you? Hiring just stalls out. The top candidates seem to have vanished. Costs are climbing, and oh yeah, tax season just feels heavier every single year. These aren't just a bunch of separate headaches. They're all symptoms of one much, much deeper problem.
And this leads to a really critical realization. The bottleneck isn't a lack of people. It's a broken system. You just can't throw more bodies at the problem anymore and expect it to work. You need a structure that can actually handle the work efficiently. And that right there brings us to the root cause. See, the problem isn't just the symptoms we've been talking about, it's the fundamental structure of the firm itself. So you really have to ask yourself, is the mountain of work really the problem? Is it about having too many clients or just too many returns to file?
Well, for most firms, the answer is a pretty clear no. The problem isn't the amount of work. It's a rigid, inflexible structure that just can't absorb the natural peaks and valleys of our business cycle without cracking under the pressure.
And this is where you feel the true cost of that structural bottleneck. It isn't just about being inefficient. It's about your best people getting totally burned out, partners getting dragged into low-level prep work, and clients getting frustrated. You end up just reacting all the time instead of actually leading.
So, how do you fix a structural problem like that? Well, you introduce flexibility. The solution really lies in building a more dynamic, more agile delivery model, and you do that through strategic outsourcing. When you look at it, you've basically got two main options. Nearshoring is a great way to kind of dip your toes in. You get easier communication, similar time zones, but for true long-term scalability and access to a massive, massive talent pool, offshoring to a place like India offers a huge strategic advantage.
Now this is the critical mindset shift. Successful outsourcing isn't about just offloading tasks you don't want to do. No way. It's about thoughtfully integrating a global team to expand your firm's core capabilities. It's about team expansion.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Let's break down how a flexible model can completely transform core services like tax and payroll.
Just imagine a tax season that looks like this. Your offshore team is handling all that painstaking prep work and organization. Your U.S. team gets to focus on the high-value final review and the client relationship. And with standardized workflows in place, you're meeting deadlines with way less stress and, this is crucial, fewer errors.
And hey, it's not just for seasonal work. Take a look at payroll. It's relentless, right? And it's a high-risk service. Outsourcing this part of your business transforms it from a huge resource drain into a consistent, scalable, and profitable service line, all while freeing up your senior staff for more valuable work.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, I get it, but how do you actually make it work? Let's cover the implementation, and let's address some of those common questions that always come up.
The key is to treat your outsourced partners like a true extension of your own team. That means crystal clear SOPs, defined roles, and consistent communication. When you do that, they operate with the exact same accountability as your in-house staff.
All right, let's tackle the big questions head on. First up, the one everybody asks, what about the clients? Will they know? Will they care?
The short answer is a simple no. This is a back-office strategy. Your clients are going to continue to work with the same US-based team they know and trust. The engine under the hood is just running a lot more efficiently.
Okay, next question, and it's a really big one. What about quality? How can you possibly ensure standards don't slip when the work is being done thousands of miles away?
It's simple. You never ever give up control. Your firm always retains the final review. The outsourced team is responsible for the prep work and the processing. But that final sign-off, that quality assurance, that always rests with you.
And finally, let's ask the forward-looking question. Does a model like this help, or does it hinder that big industry shift towards higher value advisory services?
Oh, it doesn't just support it, It accelerates it. Absolutely. By offloading all that routine compliance work, you free up your most valuable resource, your team's time, to focus directly on strategic advisory. So let's just bring it all together. In today's environment, flexibility isn't some nice-to-have perk. It is the absolute foundation for building a resilient and sustainable firm for the future.
So the final question really is for you to think about. As the pressure keeps mounting, is your firm built to bend or is it built to break?